hey, congratulations for your film, The Disappearance of Toby Blackwood.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
It's a very hilarious film. So let me start with this. Where the original idea came from for this movie?
Doug, you want to take it or you want me to take it?
Well, I mean, it was really at the end of the first full month of lockdown. Our editor, Dan Riddle, who's brilliant, went to Joe and said, hey, like all of our actor friends are bored and unemployed, and his show was frozen at the time. He works in network TV. And so he asked Joe, you know, he thought we could make a film for a much smaller budget if we thought of something that was interesting that could be done through a lot of Zoom and all that kind of thing. And so then Joe went to me and we just brainstormed as many possibilities in a couple days. And then we just picked one and jumped in, and that's how we got started.
And I think the big thing was from the jump, we didn't want to make this a movie entirely over Zoom. You know, I think people were already Zooming enough on that first month. So we wanted to try and open up the world a little bit and not make it feel as claustrophobic as, you know, a movie done entirely over Zoom. So, you know, we filmed my character's stuff with a movie camera and Grant's character, Luke, with a movie camera. And then every other person that they interacted with, we were seen as a FaceTime or Zoom, but from their perspective. So, you know, it was largely filmed in 2 apartments, but it's, you know, we felt that it opened up the world a little bit more than just being on computer screens. And we were all glued to our phones at the time with the, you know, the news, 24-hour news cycle and the shitstorm we were living through. And, you know, conspiracy theories were really pervasive at the time. I mean, they still are. But so we thought, you know, we could have fun with this YouTuber who has a following for whatever reason and have him go missing. And Grant was a huge part of the, you know, the brainstorming process as well. And yeah, all 4 of us just kind of got to, I shouldn't say all 4 of us, our wives, Katie Middleton and Flynn Fletcher, Doug and our wives, were a huge part of the filmmaking process as well.
They're also my wives.
Sister wives. Sister wives. Yes, we're all sister wives.
We're very, very close.
Sorry, that was a long-winded answer, Gig.
Well, let me get this straight. So this is a pandemic film. For some unknown reason, I thought all the pandemic films are already out.
No, this is definitely a pandemic film, and we shot it in the heart of the pandemic, about the pandemic. So there's a lot of impressive things about it, and one of them being that Doug and Joe were able to crank out this script from the origin of the idea to fruition in about 2 months. And then we started shooting in like
July.
May of
June.
Doug in May.
Yeah, we were shooting me in May.
Yeah,
we were.
So this is 2020. So the studios got shut down in March of 2020, and we were shooting Doug's coverage in May of 2020, and then Joe and I shot our coverage in June and July, starting June and July of 2020, and and then we just started, and we had unlimited time to do that because we're all friends, and so there was no real limitation. It's not like we had other jobs to do at the time, and so we were able to cultivate the coverage of my character, Joe's character, and Toby's character with as much time as we needed, and that it did require that amount of time because it was difficult to shoot stuff when we only had a crew of 2 or 3 at any given time.
Wow.
But
So
yeah,
Doug,
the post.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gig. My bad.
Oh, I was gonna ask Doug, since it seems like Doug started first with yourself on this. How much research did you have to do for to become a survivalist and a YouTuber for yourself, Doug?
We honestly, we did look up. He's based on some real kind of YouTube personalities, just kind of a culmination of goofy characters that are almost too crazy to believe, but they're out there, and we all know that. And Yeah, we just watched, a bunch of videos at the time. Again, this was the very beginning of lockdown. The conspiracy kind of stuff was coming into the, societal Rolodex a little bit, but it really caught fire the more this went on. Like, we were looking up certain conspiracies and we were like, oh, this is too crazy to put in the film. And then 2 days later, we'd see a viral video of someone saying the weather was being controlled, so then we'd have to get crazier for the film. But yeah, we had to watch quite a bit of insanity to get this going.
We don't want to say who because we're afraid for our lives. So we can't really name these YouTubers. But.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that all of you actually did this research and not get trapped in this rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and
especially at that time.
Yeah.
Well, it would become rather frustrating because the conspiracy theories would get crazier and crazier, and then you would see that you're like, how the fuck are this many people on board with this shit? And you just smash your head into the wall over it. And that's why it made it fun to shoot the movie, just because as absurd as all the conspiracies in the movie are, they're all based in reality and have giant followings.
Well, Joe, let me toss you this question because your pandemic beard, was that a real pandemic beard, or you basically grew it for?
That was 100% real, as was my hair. Much to my wife's chagrin, I had to keep that. I mean, gig we shot probably starting in June and on and off till about, I think we were getting pickup shots till December of 2020, and I had that hair the whole time. And then while we're editing, we edited over Zoom with our brilliant editor Dan Riddle, and we realized we didn't really love the opening, so we had to redo the opening of my scene in the bathroom. And so I had a normal haircut for like 3 months, and I was like, I got to grow this back. So yeah, I had to grow the hair back in probably May of 21 to get one scene. So that's commitment, right?
Well, I mean, I have to admire Grant's commitment. Grant, did you make that ultimate sacrifice to do the fade, or did you really try to cut your own hair?
No, I had to have those divots in my hair for about 6 fucking months, and and when auditions started to happen again towards the end of end of 2020, and so like I would be doing these auditions with these huge divots in my hair, and I'm walking around through life with these divots, and like, but it was worth it because I made that choice to do that, and so I stuck with it, and yeah, everyone thought that I had brain damage when I would walk around life.
Joe, so many FaceTiming on a film like this. How did you direct everybody in this case?
So basically, I would Zoom with them. I'd have them set their laptop up very close to as close to they could as their eye line while they're holding their phone, so that it almost felt like I was there. But yeah, every actor, I think with the exception of one, I Zoomed with Father Delgado. He had to go out and do his second scene solo because I couldn't be at his location in New York where he filmed. But yeah, it was we had to have them film with this app called Filmic Pro to record at the proper frame rate. So I would send them basically this Bible of like what to follow, like, here's what you're gonna do, sit next to a window if you can, get some nice light coming through, and basically here's how you set up your phone using this app. And then yeah, I would read with them over Zoom in the moment. And then we gave our editor all these separate performances, and he made this thing feel as cohesive as it could, you know. So that's a testament to how good of an editor he is.
Like, good luck.
Well, Doug, I particularly love yours was because I think I want to say most of you, I want to say all of your scenes were outdoors, so that made it terrific for you.
Yeah, it was fun because I kind of had a little more freedom than a lot of people because I got to improv a little bit, and his stuff was just so crazy. It's like, even if you screw up an insane line, it doesn't matter because the more insane, the better. But it was a lot of fun filming outdoors, but also very cold at times, very ant bite ridden, a lot going on. I actually touched bear shit in one scene.
It's super hard being an actor.
I committed. They didn't know I was going to do it, but we were actually filming over bear shit. And I was like, whatever happens, keep rolling on this. And then I actually picked it up and was waving it around. And
the hardest part was to not laugh while we were filming that moment. And my wife, Katie Middleton, and Doug's wife, Flynn Fletcher, we were all behind the camera, just like buckled over, trying to restrain our laughs. We had no idea he was going to grab a piece of petrified bear poop.
You can't tell at all that it's real. So it was basically.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume that the urine was not real.
Good job.
I committed. It was no. That was not real.
That was not real. No.
And what I want to say, one of the greatest scenes in this film was all the conspiracy guests that you guys had for FaceTime. You know, I don't want to spoil because I think the best part is just trying to guess who pops up next. But tell us about, you know, getting all that together. Like, did you just went to your Rolodex? I don't even know why I said Rolodex. No one has.
No, I think that's a good way to refer to it, because we literally did go to our Rolodexes. We said to ourselves, who are our most famous friends? and we just kind of approached them like that. And because everyone was in this same exact position at the time, everyone was unemployed, everyone was stuck at home, really, it was pretty easy to get all of those cameos on board. The only difficulty was getting them the right app on their phone and being able to make it work into the edit, and we had to do that remotely. But other than that, they were all game, and when we would do the scenes with them, we would actually do the scenes with them. We would be on Zoom saying the lines and speaking into the camera like we're talking to them on Zoom. And so it was interactive, and we did multiple takes, and we were able to take the ones that we liked the best and intercut them and things like that. And so yeah, that was just it was literally going through our Rolodex of successful actors that we knew.
But it was in the script. It was written in a very linear fashion, and that first, we called it the conspirator sequence. That's what we would refer to it. And man, I think the first cut of it was like 15 minutes long, and we were like, "What is this? This is awful. We don't know what to do." And Dan's like, "Look, I haven't touched it yet. Like, I'm gonna have Dan Riddle, our editor. He's like, I've got some ideas," and you know, we kept like whittling it down and getting it down to, like, once we got it down to 7 minutes, Dan was like, "All right, I'm gonna shift this up and make it non-linear." And what he showed us, we were just kind of blown away by. And from there, we just kept getting it, you know, shorter and shorter until we reached whatever length it is now. It just felt right. So we're glad you liked it, because we worked on that scene for a long time.
And I think too, people wanted to help at that time. So I think that was, you know, that helped with, you know, some of these bigger name actors were just, it was such a weird time. They championed being a part of it because they thought it was a unique project. So that was really, everybody was very sweet about it. It was really cool. We had Tom Hanks begged to be in, but scheduling didn't work out.
And one of my famous friends, and I love him so much. He happened to be one of the only actors on planet Earth working at the time because they were shooting. My friend is Steve Zahn, and they were shooting season 1 of White Lotus at the time. And so he was in Maui at the Four Seasons, being like, "Oh, I'm in Maui." So he ended up not doing it, which I was so fucking pissed about. But because he was employed, he was one of the only actors on Earth employed because they shot that in spring of 2020 somehow, some way.
Well, it is a terrific scene. It's funny is because when that popped up, I told myself that, gosh, I could watch 90 minutes of this for someone on.
Oh, good.
Great. That's such great news to us because that was our whole fucking aim, is to make no one feel like it was monotonous.
Most excellent. So what's up next with you guys, and will we ever see the return of Toby again?
We've got something cooking up. We're in the very early stages. That may be sort of a road trip element to it, and may or may not involve finding Gilbert Muldoon, the detective. And we're
Detective
thinking
with
maybe,
the parrot.
yeah. So yeah, we're still in the very early stages of that, but a couple people have expressed wanting to see a sort of, not a sequel, but like what it maybe, I guess it is a sequel, but yeah, another
It'd probably be a larger budgeted road trip movie with my character, Joe's character, and Doug's character all in the same van.
trying to find
How
Mr.
good of a through line is that?
That would be some certain adventure. That's for sure. If you guys have to go trek across country. Well, gentlemen, hey, thank you very much for speaking to us about the disappearance of Toby Blackwood. You guys are a whole lot of fun, and I could tell your guys' chemistry and synergy together. I have no idea how you guys keep your composure and not laugh at each other through FaceTiming all those months. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for taking the
Very
time.
nice talking with you.
Hey, thank you.